What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And this is The Boys, Season 1, Episode 3. I told you I'd do the episodes just like back to back daily, which means today you get The Boys, Episode 3, Season 4, Episode 3. This is Season 1? I have no idea what I said. Anyway, we're living in a Homelander world, and this show is showing us that. And I think, because I'm starting to see some backlash, I already have a commenter on one of my videos. It's like, this is the worst season ever. And as I was watching, the first episode didn't quite, I thought it was humorous. But then when they kept doing it, I was like, okay, so they're doing something here. They're really going after it. And then by the third episode, it's like, they're definitely doing this. So the elephant in the room is that obviously The Boys does not like MAGA. And if you are MAGA, you woke up this morning and you found out that The Boys is no longer a series that you can watch because it has decided to absorb you into Homelander's movement. So if you're a fan of The Boys and you've been watching for the first 3 seasons, you kind of picked up on the idea that Homelander is not a good dude. He's not the hero of the story. So when you start seeing stuff that is pretty obviously coming out of MAGA territory, I don't like to get political in my reviews, but I have to address this because people are starting to jump in the comments. And like, worst season ever. And it's like, yeah, I kind of felt like that was coming. I was kind of starting to, yes. They're taking a lot of the stuff that we see in our current culture and really directly using stuff and tying it to Homelander and Sage and making people acutely aware of what it is they're trying to say here. Probably even more so when Stormfront was a fucking Nazi. I gotta say, before, Homefront was like in love with and tied to a actual Nazi. Like they tied her back because of her aging and everything. She was back there in the Nazi party. And if that didn't bother you and you're still here and you're surprised that they're doing this, I would say they kind of gave you a heads up last season with Stormfront. So, yeah. Anyway, there's been so much stuff. I mean, they're starting to talk about like transgender children in this. There's instead of using critical race theory, they're using critical soup theory, and like banning. They're talking about like affecting the education to teach in favor of soups, and all that kind of stuff. There's a scene that's directly referenced here in the third episode, which is almost exactly like the guy that walked into the pizza place and shot it up because he thought it had a basement and he wanted to save the kids that were in the basement with a pizza parlor that had no basement because he had read some conspiracy theories online. So that scene is mirrored here. There's a lot of stuff that they're going directly after. I would say Firecracker reminds me a lot of a Georgia representative. So, yeah, I think when you start seeing the stuff that you hold close to you into something that you like, you turn it off. And I think The Boys, now that I know that they're ending in season 5, I think they probably know that they're going to lose a chunk of their audience in season 4, and I don't think the creators care. They're obviously using their platform, the fact that they've gained an audience over the past couple seasons, to say what they want to say here. So if you have been watching The Boys and you want to peace out, to be fair, if I was watching something that suddenly went after my ideals, I would probably peace out too. If I suddenly felt attacked, I'd be like, nah. It's kind of the reason I don't watch Bill Maher anymore, loosely, but over sort of like a lot of me not liking a lot of the things that he said, and kind of feeling like a little like some of those are pointed at me. He had like a rant about people who like comic books, and what he thought about us being productive people in society. And it's like, we have jobs, bro. Anyway, yeah. So I'm not saying it's invalid. So if you're here and you're gonna like set me on fire, I'm just acknowledging it because somebody needs to. It's very obvious at this point. It was like in the first episode, I was like, okay, well they're making some light references. This will cause some eye rolls. Second episode, it's still there. Third episode, it's very obvious, and I'm like, okay, so the next 5 episodes that we have left this season are obviously going to be deep into that realm of stuff. And I think it's if you want to jump ship, if you're part of the Make America Great Again crowd, I could totally see why you don't want to watch the show anymore, because I wouldn't want to watch it either. I like it. I'm not a part of that crowd, and I can continue to watch the show, but I'm not here to necessarily continue to make fun of you. I do find it incredibly amusing that they've chosen to do this, because it's when you're really confident in yourself as a creator and in a showrunner that your audience will come back and watch it, that you would make this move anyway. New shows don't do this. New shows don't get a chance to do this because they're so worried about getting picked up. You almost have to be a juggernaut of a show to be able to handle this. Your ratings have to be so high. Like Stranger Things could do that for its final season if they wanted to, because people would come back and they'd watch Stranger Things and they'd be like, well, it got political, but like, what are you going to do? It's already its final season. It's a massive show. Like zero repercussions if that's what the Duffer brothers want to do. But because there's nothing on the line for them. They're not trying to get another season out of it. So, yeah, basically he was like, yeah, this is what we're doing this season, and we're only expecting to do one more season, and Amazon's definitely going to give us one more season, so we feel good about it. So, there you go. As far as what actually happened in the episode, there was a lot of Butcher trying to get Ryan away from Homelander so that he wouldn't become a murderous asshole. And his talks with Ryan were so productive that you could tell that when Ryan went back to Homelander that he had made, like, his mind was in a different place, and obviously Homelander's mind is in a completely different place as well. But yeah, Butcher didn't give him the cookies to knock Ryan out, and he did the right thing, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character is not happy about that because he wants to deprogram Ryan and turn him into the anti-Homelander. We'll see how that goes. I don't know how long Jeffrey Dean Morgan's going to stay on the show, so The Boys has a habit of killing off character pretty quickly, as What's-Her-Face found out today when they sat her character down for so there was a leak, and we saw that she called you, and no one's gonna be mad. We just need to know. And Homelander just like blows her head off as soon as she acknowledges the fact that she did get a phone call from Starlight. But my favorite part of the episode was Sage turning to Homelander and being like, "You didn't think maybe the next word out of her mouth might have been useful?" It was because she was about to say what the call was about, and it could have been useful. It could have like revealed something important, but Homelander's temper is just so much that he just used his laser eyes and just blew her head off. Anyway, so there's that, and we have Melkus trying to make a connection with A-Train, because A-Train was the one who helpfully leaked the information, and he thinks he can reach A-Train, basically because he's black and A-Train's black, and they can have conversations about that and what it means for their community, and how racist Homelander is, and that. So that happens. We also, the Deep made out with Sage. Odd, but okay. In this really weird sequence, and we cut to the bloody knife in the kitchen, and she's eating what she says is a bloomin' onion, and I'm like, is that the octopus? Is she eating like calamari? Did she kill and cook the octopus? Is that what this is? Because I feel like Deep would know if it was fried. Like, he would know if he's eating fish. Like, you wouldn't be able to feed him fish. I don't buy that. If that's where that is going, by the way, I don't buy that at all. I feel like he would know if he's eating a fish or an octopus. I don't think, no matter if you can't deep fry it, there's no recipe that you could put that in where he would be like, I know what this is. This is an onion, you know? I think this is an onion. He's not that stupid. He's pretty stupid, but he's not that stupid. So that's sort of is where Deep's storyline went, and we had Frenchie and Kimiko went and took out the boarding house thing that I think we were there in the last season, and there was this one chick with a sword that I guess has a past with Kimiko that we're going to find out more about because she doesn't want to talk about it. She wants Frenchie to like talk about all of his problems, but she won't mention who this strange woman with a sword is that she didn't want to kill. I was like, I don't know, is that the girl from Three Body Problem? Are we going to link series? Is this the... yeah, so Frenchie is doing drugs and seeing things and has this weird sort of like hallucinogenic experience where he sees like all the people that he's killed and reckoning with that. And obviously, so Frenchie's not doing great. Because why would he? Why can't we have a character that's just like having like a normal moment in the series? We don't have anybody who's actually having like a normal moment doing anything. We still have Huey is still dealing with his dad is still on like life support, and he has a conversation with his mom, which is like some of the best work of the season, by the way, so far has been with Jack Quaid. In terms of like actual acting, Jack Quaid has actually been given stuff to do, like real acting. He's actually having to have conversations that feel like, is this in The Boys? Like, are we? Because every time he has a conversation with his mother, it feels like it's actually like really well written, and we're opening up about emotions and tough things, and his mother's talking about having depression and how it was hard for her to like get dressed in the morning, and so she just needed to go, all that kind of stuff. So Huey gets finally some answers, and coming out of almost getting killed by Homelander, but luckily being saved by A-Train, which is really confusing for him because he didn't know that Milk had a conversation with A-Train. So this series is fun. We always get new introductions, and the fact that we're getting Firecracker and Sage, and Homelander keeps suggesting that final spot is being left open for Ryan, and everybody else is just like, I don't know, man. He's not. I don't think Ryan wants it. I don't think anybody, but no, everybody's afraid to tell Homelander that because of his powers. And it's interesting when you have the strongest powers, but he's aging and he's losing his mind. You know, to finish out the episode with him talking to multiple versions of himself in a broken mirror, I thought was a nice, strong moment to go with, because he's obviously... But nothing's going to happen, because this series is going to end with Homelander. He's still got a whole season left. He's got the rest of the season and probably next season. So whatever his story arc is that's planned, this is just part of the journey. I don't expect Homelander to tap out the season before the final season. There is no greater villain. They're not going to... Newman is not going to finish the series being the final villain for the boys. She's just not that interesting. So Homelander is it. Homelander is the end game. And somehow they got to figure out how to get Butcher to the end also, because I feel like Butcher doesn't not make it to the finale. But those are my thoughts on The Boys. Episode 3. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I like The Boys. I've liked The Boys. I recapped season 1 of The Boys. I don't really have direct problems with this episode, but I'm validating yours. I can totally understand where a certain portion of the population are turning the show off right now. So there you go. But I'm giving it an A because I like it, and I still like it, and it's not offending me. But I can see where it's so heavy-handed that if it was being aimed in my direction, I would probably stop watching whatever show that was. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the other side.